What's your superhero origin story? We all have superhero powers. We all have innate gifts and talents. And sometimes we're not aware of it. Sometimes they don't get activated. And we also have the tendency to also have what's known as kryptonite, which is that thing that can make us weak and not allow us to be able to share our gifts and talents with the world. So, what is your superhero origin story? What is your secret talent or gift? And what also can hold you back or keep you from being less than? Curious minds would like to know. I like to kid that my superpower is I call myself Jungle Cat, meaning I have really fast reflexes and I can catch something out of the blue. Something drops, I can catch it before it hits the ground and things like that. And it's been that way for as long as I can remember. And so having that talent leads into one of my innate gifts is sports in general, not all of them. But my origin story with all of this is the fact that, my mom got us into softball when I was, I don't know, maybe in the second grade. And I loved it and was really good at it right out of the gate. And I just loved it. It was fun. And I've played other sports that I've really enjoyed. And I've also played some sports that I did not enjoy. And so I don't do them anymore. I tried it once, I didn't like it. So I don't do it anymore. And I don't want to say that's my kryptonite, but I will say that my kryptonite is definitely if I don't think that I can do something really, really well right out of the gate on the first try, then forget it. Life's too short, just keep doing the things that you love and appreciate it and appreciate. So until recently, there's been a strong heated debate about nature versus nurture as far as like your gifts and talents, right? And so in the world of psychology, sociology, and genetics have all had really strong opinions about nature versus nurture. And so psychology is really about our triggers. And we have things that are called generational trauma. And some of us are lucky enough to never have that trauma trigger. I don't want to say lucky. Some of us live a life that isn't triggered, doesn't trigger those traumas of poverty or abuse, or the list is goes on and on. And so we live our lives not knowing that. And that's where, in my opinion, the term comes that things can skip a generation. Genetic things can skip a generation. I think you're familiar with that. Whereas sociology argues that it's our it's our nurture, it's our influence, it's the people who raise us, the experiences that we have, the schools we go to, the decade that we were born in, and influenced by that matter the most, right? And then our genetics are our traits, and there's strong research that supports we have certain traits that we are born with outside of my hair. Great hair runs in my family. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful. Height, brown hair, brown eyes, these things are not a surprise. They fall into the genetics. And sometimes something will be what's called dormant and it will come up. And so anyhow, all of this to say, recent research shows that it is both nature, genetics, and nurture, our environment. And, like I said, some things skip a generation, some things are dormant, sometimes things get suppressed. Like if you haven't watched the animated film Coco, I think it's Pixar Disney, and it really is a very good example of somebody who has innate gifts and talents that is suppressed by the nurture of life. So these loved ones are trying to keep this child from experiencing the hurt and the pain that they did. But anyhow, I'm not going to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it. It's a really, really good movie. And so this all boils down to really one basic concept: use it or lose it. Have you heard that one before? And so, the study of Mozart shows that he had perfect pitch, yet it was beyond it was beyond nature. So his father was musical, his mother was musical, but his father began training him so early. By the time he was 4, this gift was really developed. So we have innate gifts and talents that need the nurture, that need the development. So they are there or they are not there. So, for example, science and math are not my talents. I wanted to be an astronaut at one point in time. I'm like, math, forget that. And so numbers just aren't my thing. Words are my thing. Public speaking is my thing. Some of my, I told you, softball, sports, public speaking is, I'm so grateful to have that gift. And then I was encouraged to also use it and was given the confidence that each time I performed and exercised that gift, it got stronger and more talented. And I'm so grateful that I had those opportunities over and over again. Whereas, music, I tried to play saxophone, piano, and guitar, failed miserably, and so just stopped. So music is just not one of my natural talents, and that's okay. We don't have to have it all. And it's really important that we're not envious of people that can do things that, we tried, but, struggle with. Spend more time polishing your brilliance. Spend more time finding your superhero origin story, for better and for worse. Rewrite it if you need to. Figure out what's your kryptonite and be able to build the immunity around that, or know when it's okay to just kind of sit back and regroup. All right, so I really, really, really love to share my gifts and talents with the world. My superhero powers is my ability to be a good listener, help develop a plan of action, and then nurture that plan of action with flexibility to succession, to success, to thrive, to all of those wonderful things with grace and ease and flow. And it lights me up. The big L is huge on my chest when I get to do that. So, what's your superpower origin story? What's your kryptonite? If you don't even know, then even better, more. So, let's chat, let's talk, let's uncover those things because the world is waiting. The world needs you. There are people out there waiting for you to help nurture their gifts and talents to make the world a better place through the ripple effect. I'm Elle Graniel, the founder of Truespeak. Like, subscribe, share, and more importantly, let's chat. The opportunity is below. It's super easy. It's 30 minutes of your time that I promise you would be extremely well invested. So I'd like to end with a quote from Nelson Mandela that says, and I'd like to read it, that says, "There is no passion to be found in living small and settling for a life less than you are capable of living." People are waiting for you. Let's chat. So until next week, aloha always.